The shot of the day.
Welcome to On the Greens. My name is Taribo Pembe. Before wasting any further time, let's have a look at what this episode has in store for us.
Coming up on the Greens, Eswatini hosts the 7th edition of Nomads Nationals, the biggest charity golf tournament in the region. The Mbabane Business League is heating up. We visited the golf club to catch up on the business league. We then give you golf basics courtesy of Meshack Zwane, our local professional golfer and coach. Friday the 18th, SO2E09 Nomads hosted the 7th edition of the National Nomads at the Royal Swazi. A 3-day event that began with a unique flag raising. We hear from the nation's represented captains.
Martin, we're here, flag raising, opening ceremony of the Nationals. As team captain, how ready is Team Eswatini?
Thanks, Tariba. Of course we're ready. We've got 48 golfers competing. Altogether it's 248 golfers. We've been practicing throughout the week and we've had our team talks. No, I'm just joking. No, we're out here, guys, to have fun. This is the spirit of golf. And yeah, we've got a mixture of youth and we've got some older guys. And together, I think we can come up with a trophy this year. So don't worry, Eswatini, we'll keep it here in Swaziland.
Mr. Chikware, welcome to the Kingdom of Swaziland. How was your travels to Swaziland? How are you feeling the opening ceremony and how do you think the weekend will go?
Well, the travel was perfect. We traveled very well from OR Tambo. We drove past through Ngwenya, border post, everything perfect, no hassles. We're very happy to be here. We're hopeful that the tournament will go as planned. And we look forward to meeting new friends and obviously refreshing the old friendship that we have.
Sean, welcome to Swaziland. Welcome again to the Nationals. Team Zambia has been dominating this event for a very long time. How ready is the team and how do you think the weekend will go?
Good evening all. As Zambia, we came 12 of us to compete against Swaziland and various other countries. We're extremely honored to be here. The golf course is in fantastic condition. Everyone has been over helpful, over assistance, the service, everything. We are overly impressed with your country, the hospitality, the friends we've made, the friendships we're going to make. Nomads is not about the golf. You come here to have fun. You come here to meet people. And at the end of the day, we're raising money for charity. So all in all, it is for good reason.
Countries represented in this charity event were South Africa, Zimbabwe, defending champion Zambia, Botswana, and of course the host nation Eswatini. Jumping right into the action on day 2, on the par 5 hole 17, we catch up with Eswatini representative Obi Makwele, playing alongside Eswatini captain Martin Lechka, Zimbabwean captain Clever Chikwari, and Zambian captain Sean Brannigan. After laying up their second shots, Martin plays a steady shot over the green. Sean follows suit. Chikwari also plays a good shot and Obi sends a dot right on the green. Finding his ball way over the green, Lichka is shown the line where to chip the ball. Chips and ball flies way past the hole. Obi Makwele for par, barely hits it. He knows he should have hit it hard enough to hold this one. On the other hand, Sean sends a long putt and just misses the hole to the right. Walks and taps in for a point. Chikwari for par, drops it in with a firm putt. Good play by the Zimbabwean. Obi wrapping up his play. Oh no, he misses that one. Taps in for a point. Seems like he's got something to say about his putting. Moving on to famous 18 hole with Team Eswatini in the lead. Sean takes the first tee, followed by Clever. With Obi next. And Martin Lechka last.
Yes, Martin.
Surprisingly, they all find the bunker. Chikwari first to play out of the bunker. Good bounce onto the green. Oops, as Sean prepares, he's almost hit by a ball. Plays his way too strong. That automatically leaves him out of this hole. Can Martin chip this in? Great bunker shot. Almost holds it, and that's close enough. Obi's turn to play from the sand. Also plays a good bunker shot, but off target. Chikwari for par, drops it in. Solid putt again from the Zimbabwean. He likes that one. Martin for a 2-pointer. He misses it. Walks to finish things off. Misses again. He can't believe it. He picks up and walks away with no points. We caught up with another 4-ball at hole 4 with Nick Dutoit putting off the fringe to incredibly hold in his birdie putt. He gets a deserved high five from Arthur Horn. Arthur to finish with a par, slots it in. A very happy man with that par.
Oh, hello.
As he moves along to swing perfectly onto the next hole. At the 9th, we caught up with John Brewing as he tees off using an iron. Followed by Halfpenny Hilton, Eswatini's Dr. Nida, and Zimbabwe's Mr. Kweshe, who doves his tee shot
Your camera shot.
I'm not shy, I think.
You're gonna have to pay him for that, eh?
but plays a good second shot onto the fairway. Not having a good day, Mr. Kweshe also mishits his third shot. Kweshe hits a good shot close to the green. Brewing plays his second way over the green, and playing partner Halfpenny does the same. While Dr. Nida continues with his laying up games. Nida chips, but hits it too strong and gets a lucky bounce from the water pipe. John Brewing plays a good chip close to the hole. Halfpenny putts off the fringe and also gets it close to the hole. Nida for bogey, gets it close, walks and taps in for a point for Team Eswatini. Can Halfpenny slot in this par? Putts, but just misses it. John Brewing easily taps in his par. Lance Rousseau also amongst the Nomads. Teeing up at the 18th, he plays a good shot. Lands on the green, but way far from the hole. Good shot nonetheless. He putts for birdie and leaves it short. As his playing partners wrap up, Lance hopes to finish the day with a par. Putts, almost holds it. Taps in for a one-pointer. As JJ leaves his par putt short, that marks the end of their Nomads Nations round. Still at the 18th, trying to find that lucky hole-in-one winner, as some golfers make it on the green, and some way not close. At the end of the day, no one won the car, and it was all about the spirit of camaraderie. That marked the end of the play proceedings, and it was time for flag lowering and prize presentation.
Mr. Rissa, I've only heard good things about this golf course and, the facilities in general. So well done to you and well done to your team, and I officially hand over the baton to you. Please, can you come receive it? I can't promise everything, Mr. Rissa. I now declare the 7th Swaziland Nationals, the Swazi Swagger, officially closed. Thank you very much. That concludes flag lowering. I invite all of you to our final night's prize giving back at the pool bar. See you there. Thanks very much. Third place Zimbabwe on 28.125. In second place, South Africa on 28.958. Winning the Flame Lily Trophy, Swaziland on 29.167.
Congratulations to Team Eswatini for coming in first in the 7th edition Nomads Nationals. Hoping for a bigger and better charity event next year.
What a beautiful golf event the Nomads had. Moving along, let's have a look at other golf activities happening in the country, including the Mbabane Business League.
The month of October saw the Mbabane Golf Club host the third last games of the Business League. Competing for the championship, only 2 teams remain in the race out of 14 in contention, Team Amadi and Civics. With Myeni and Nicholas Villagati playing for Amadi, Calcile with George Mzungu playing for ESRIC. Finding his drive perched right behind the tree, Nicholas finds a way to navigate his shots from the furniture. He plays a good shot. Mieni cuts his second shot way right, while George uses a rescue to strike his second shot down the middle. From the fairway, Calcile belts her second using a 3-wood. Nicholas plays his third just in front of the 9th and 18th tee and sends it on the dance floor. After taking a drop, Yeni punches his ball through the trees. While George chips, lands his ball on the green, but it rolls out onto the fringe. Calcile chips hers and just barely makes it on the green. Mieni plays his on as well. Mr. Mzungu from the fringe plays a beautiful chip shot close to the hole. Nicholas for birdie. Holding this birdie means he wins the hole against Mzungu. It's a long putt. Putts it well and just misses it on the left. Walks and taps in the par. Calcile putting for birdie, just breaks to the right. Taps in the 5 to win the hole against Mieni. George to finish off his tap in par, takes his time and drops in his yellow ball to half the hole against Nicholas Villarata. Moving along to the next hole, still with Team Amadi. On the second hole, veteran Alex Dlamini plays a good shot on the green but rolls onto the fringe. Playing alongside Benedict Bennett, whose tee shot flies out of bounds. Team ESRIC's Tabi Sogama attacks the green, with playing partner Matawe Mazia following suit. Mazia plays a good chip close to the hole. While Thabiso also replies with an exquisite chip. He putts for par, sinks it. What a great play! Good chip, good par. He loves it. Alex from the fringe doesn't get it on the green. Takes a third chance, rolls it off and finishes off as he loses the hole against Thabiso. Mazia only needs 2 putts to win against Benedict Bennett. He putts for par, misses it. He has to sink this one now for the win. Takes his time, reads the line, oh no, he misses it again. 3 putts means he halves the hole against Benedict Bennett. They move on to the 3rd hole and they all swing in style. Moving along to see how Team Civic is playing. Team Civic, who are chasing the championship with Amadi, represented by the retired PS Evet Malopa and golfer Sibusiso Zwane, playing against Team EPTC, represented by Mduduzi Mtefa and Sive Dlamini. They tee off at the 16th. Sibusiso, finding his drive on the foreign rough, plays a good recovery shot onto the 16th fairway. Mduduzi approaches the green but leaves it just short. Playing partner Sive, also playing his second, also hits it short off the green. Mr. Madlopa for his second, plays a good shot right before the green and settles on the green. Good shot. Mdu chips his third close as well as Sibusiso. Right on the edge of the green, Sive putts, just misses the hole to the left. Mr. Madlopa for birdie to win the hole. good putting stroke. Oh, and he almost holds that. He can't believe he missed that birdie. Taps in the par. Do putting to half Mr. Madlopa. Ball just breaks close to the hole, which means Mr. Madlopa wins the hole. Sibusiso for par to win the hole against Sive. Ball just goes around the hole. So unfortunate. Sive to half Sibusiso. Drops it in. After a day of golf, Team Civic collects a maximum of 10 points, while Amadi collects 9 points, leaving the two teams neck on neck, heading towards the second last league game in November.
What a highly contested business league it is in Mbabane between Amadi and Civics. Due to popular demand, we are introducing golf basics, courtesy of Meshack Zwane. Let's have a look.
Good day, my name is Meshack Zwane. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to grip the club. So basically I'll be starting from beginners, how to really grip the club and how to hit the ball, the stance, set up, posture. So I'm going to be working on that. So here I have a pitching wedge. I hit my pitching wedge 130 meters or 135 meters. So I'll start with my pitching wedge. So I'll be talking about different types of grips. I'll start with gripping. You can only identify a good golfer with a proper grip. As it is, most golfers, obviously you have those golfers with complete different grips, but you need a golfer that will actually grip the club neutral, so that one will be able to progress quicker. So I'll start with the grip. How do we hold the club so that you are able to hit the ball without any effort? The first thing you do, you hold it with your left. There is always a mark here, as you see here, it's written Golf Pride, but they always put a mark here. That means this thumb is always direct to this mark, not outside, not inside. If you go inside like this, that becomes a strong grip. So now you have your grip like this. This is a strong grip. It's not easy to control. That means you'll hit the ball towards left. That's a strong grip if you hold the club like this. So now if you do this, see this now, this is open. This is a weak grip. Most of the time you'll hit your ball to right and you won't have control over it. So let's start with a neutral grip. That's where you see if the student is going to be a good golfer or not. So here is the neutral grip. You make sure the thumb is always direct to the marking. When they put the grip, they make sure this is very straight to the head, down at the bottom. It's not shut, it's not open. So you make sure your left thumb, it's towards that. And now, like I'm a right hand, you put your right hand underneath. Now, must watch one thing with that. when you hold the club, you don't put the club in your palm, like here. Then you won't have control. So what you do, you just hook the club on your fingers. Then you'll have a control. And that will actually allow the club to go through. But if you put in your palm, then you're going to be forcing your big muscles to come in, so you won't have control, you won't even feel the club. So now, when you grip, you make sure the left thumb is towards that marking, and then your right hand underneath, then your grip is complete. But you putting in mind, there are 3 types of grips. This one is over the lap, where you put your thumb on top, and then you've got the interlock, and then you've got the hammer grip. Unless you are one of those who prefer to have a cross grip, they call it papa grip. But we're not talking about that today. These are the very normal grip. If you're right hand, you'll have the over the lap, that's what I'm using. And then you'll have the hammer grip, and then you have the interlock, this one. It's mostly used by the top guys. The interlock, a lot of guys actually prefer the interlock. Okay, now going back to the basics. Like I said, your grip determines your club head speed, your swing, and your club head, how square your club head would be at impact. So now I'm going back to basics. Now I want to make sure I hit the ball pretty more straight by making sure I leave it neutral. We call it neutral by putting the thumb straight to the marking. There you go. There you go. So now, this is now more neutral because my thumb is straight to the marking. It's not this side, because once I do this, now this is a very strong grip. Now I'll hit the ball, I shape the ball to the right. But I want to keep my thumb straight to the marking so that most of the time I keep the ball in play, I keep it straight. So if you look at the way I'm holding the club, it's more neutral. And then now I'm squared to the target. So the club head will be square also when it comes down to impact, if you just look at that. So, another one again. Every time you see a beginner, you can only judge how far that beginner is going to go just by looking at the grip. If the beginner is very strong or is very weak, like this, now it's outside the marking, like this, then you know that that person is going to struggle a lot. So if you're teaching, the main thing that you do before you even get to the setup, how square you should stand, you just work on the grip, and the grip will actually solve a lot of problems than you focusing on how square the person is standing. And then you'll soon realize what type of a shot that person is actually basically hitting. So now I'll always emphasize that you keep the neutral grip. You don't hold it strong. There you go. Now, when it comes to a golf swing, we always keep the goalkeeper's position. This is the position. So you will have your knees flexed. So not up. You can't stand like this because then you'll damage your back. So most of the guys who are always standing up on the shot like this, having their knees straighter, they always complain with their back because when they hit, their body can't hinge properly. So you can't turn properly. So now that's one thing you just need to be very careful of, especially when introducing someone into golf, that the knees are always kept flexed. So you always bend your knees. There's a reason for that. That protects your back, and also you've got power if you have your knees flexed. But if you're standing up, you've got no power. I'll put an example. If you're in a boxing ring, you see guys boxing, they always have their knees flexed because then you've got power when you pull back your punch and then you can throw it. There's power. But if you think you're going to box standing up with your straight knees, you're not going to be able to throw the punch. So the same thing applies to golf. So you need to have your knees flexed. Now, when you hit the ball, when you turn back, you have your back swing. You still have your knees flexed. So one thing again that you need to be very careful of, when you get to impact, most of the guys, when they get to impact, they then stand up. So that defeats the purpose of bending your knees. So you always keep your knees flexed, and then you'll be able to strike the ball much straighter and longer, and also you protect your back. So there'll be no consistency. So just watch me. They call it the athletic position. This is what they call it. So basically, this is how you want to feel. This is for a golf swing. And then they call it again the goalkeeper's position. You see in the goal post, soccer goal post, a goalkeeper, when they are attacking, is always on this alert position. With this, he's able to run to any direction without hurting himself. So the same thing, remember, golf is a sport. And also you're going to apply power, and also it's muscle coordination. So you just need to be very careful. When you turn your muscles, they're in the right position. So the same thing, like I said, I always check. It's always my left first, so that my left thumb is straight to the marking. And then I have my knees flexed. Now again, why we keep the goalkeeper's position? Because we want to make sure that we stay flexed. Even during our backswing, you are still flexed so that you have the power. But if you're going to stand up before hitting the ball, now there is no power, and also most of the time you're going to miss the ball, or you're not going to enjoy the strike. So for you, you need to keep your knees flexed. You turn, you still flex, you come back, you hit the ball, you keep the same position. You don't, actually this level stays the same. It's just that when you turn, you're going to sway a bit, but now at impact, you still keep the same position so that you have enough power. A lot of people, they think power comes from the arms. No, you just need to allow the body. So when you coil, you're allowing the bigger muscles to support you. So the only way of doing that is making sure that your knees are flexed, and then you'll be able to hit through the ball. So if you look at me, I said you must always check if you're neutral, and then you have your knees flexed. When you take it back, I still on the same position. Now I'm coming down to the ball, still same position until I make the impact. So I go there, back, still same position. You don't then, because you are here, you start standing up. You're not going to enjoy the shot. So you turn, and then you make the strike, still same position. So you turn. So the discipline is more on your knees and your waist. So you don't change the position. So you keep yourself flexed and make sure that you keep that goalkeeper's position, or you stay flexed. So that's where the power is. Okay, now let me talk about stance. How wide open you stand. For a normal shot, a full shot, this is how you stand. You make sure that your legs are open at your shoulder width. So you don't open more than your shoulders. If you look, if I drop the club, this is more than my shoulders. So you make sure when you open your feet, they're not too wide, they're not too narrow. Too wide, you'll have a problem. You won't be able to control, and also you're going to be hurting your back. So you just need to be very careful with that. Stay flexed. open your feet, make sure they are not exceeding your shoulders when you're opening. So it must be shoulder width. So you don't go wider and you don't go too narrow. Now, that means you've got all the power. You don't need to force hitting the ball. There you go. And then you can come back. If you look at me, I still maintain my height. So my knees, I keep them flexed when I go back. There you go. So with that, you'll be able to execute most of your shots just by making sure that you keep your knees flexed and also you don't open them too wide. At impact, you'll be able to hit the ball much more cleaner and straighter. But most of the guys, you find that the grip is good, but now the stance, he's either too wide and also he's not flexed. So now he's compromising his backswing. He can't move properly. Remember, it's science. You just need to work with your muscles, muscle coordination. So you don't want to disturb the movement. So you want to keep it the same throughout. There you go. Knees flexed. Make sure it's a neutral grip. And then your knees, always, you take your backswing, they're still flexed. There you go. Then you'll be able to execute most of your shots. You don't need all the power. One thing you'll notice when teaching or beginners, they try and overhit the ball or muscle the ball or hit it hard, is because they don't have flexed knees and also the grip find is too strong or is not properly aligned. So those are the most two key things, that you check your grip if it's neutral, and then your knees, and then you'll be able to execute your shot. Now I'm going to be talking about backswing. How do you get the club head speed generating the power that is necessary for your club? Now, go back to basics. Like I said, always make sure you have a neutral grip. To do that, always make sure your thumb is direct to the markings, and then you have your knees flexed. Now with this, when I take the club back, one thing you mustn't do also is letting your head go with the club. You take your club back, my head is still, or my eyes, they're still over the ball. It's just my arms there. But what is making it more easier is that my knees are flexed. So now my body will be in a position to give me the power that I need. So there I go. If you look at my knees, here I have slightly turned in to allow my turn and the muscles, and then I'll be able to hit through the ball. So the backswing that you need, you have your knees flexed and then you turn back. A lot of people, when they turn back, you find them doing this, bending the elbow, their left. That's wrong. But where is that coming from? It's normally coming from not having a proper setup when your knees are too straight. So now you'll find it's difficult now to turn because you have your knees straight. But if your knees are flexed, your left arm will always be straight, and that will actually help you to bring the club the same position as it were when we started the backswing. So please remember, the knees, they play a great role, and the grip. two things you just have to watch all the time before you hit the ball. Make sure this thumb is straight to the markings, and then you have your knees flexed. That's where your power is. So when taking back your swing, you still have your knees flexed, and then you'll be able to coil. But if you have your knees like this, it's going to be hard to coil. The body won't allow. So that's why you find some people bending the arm, of which is wrong. You can only keep your left arm straight, of which that will keep the club straight on plane by having your knees flexed. So always keep your knees flexed. If you look at me, my arm is still straight. So there you go. My arm is what? Straight, it's not bent. There you go. My knees are flexed. There you go. I'm able to execute because of the power I've got. The knees here, by keeping them bent, this angle, it's for power and it protects my back. So two things you just need to be very careful of. You have your knees flexed, and then you reach for impact, you still have your knees flexed, and then you've got your power through. That's it.
Points to remember. The grip. Always have your left thumb pointing at the grip markings, directly straight as you lock your right hand under the grip. Your stance. Knees bent on a slightly sitting position. Feet firm on the ground at a shoulder height position. Both arms remain straight as you make your back swing. Slowly keep them locked in a straight position as you pull the club behind for your back swing. Those are the key fundamentals.
Three basic golf tips: your grip, your stance, and your swing. Join us again as we bring you golf activities happening in the country. Watch this program every Tuesday at 9 p.m. or follow us on our Instagram page, On The Greens. Till we meet again.